Hello and welcome to the Prime Barrel Chronicles. I am Mr. G, inviting you to join co-host Michael Nagdy and I here in the heart of the Kentucky Bluegrass region, where rolling hills and limestone-rich soil meet heirloom corn and the pastoral farmland of Whiskey Thief Distilling. We are here on one of the hottest days of summer and will soon enter the sweltering rickhouse to choose one of the coolest barrels of the year as the first group to select from a special premium stock of ultra-aged barrels, along with Oakley Spirits founder Molly Kingston.
Hey guys, thanks for coming out today. I really appreciate it. I'm Molly. I'm the founder of Oakley Spirits. We are a straight Kentucky bourbon launched in December of 2024 with, as one of you said, with a bang. I think that's an apt description. And we're a few months into this exciting journey and welcoming people like yourselves really along to take the ride with us. That's our major objective, is to build community as we go and get more people along for the journey ahead. Welcoming Prime Barrel as new friends, as partners in this venture in all respects, as aficionados, collectors, tasters, all around enthusiasts. And happy to have you here and thankful that you made the trip. I'm happy to talk a little bit about the brand, a little bit about the bourbon, what we're doing here. The interesting thing about Oakley, or one of the most interesting things, is that I started this brand because I wasn't drinking whiskey or bourbon or scotch. I drank everything else, but I didn't drink any of that stuff. And the question really occurred to me, why? I'm even Irish and I'm not drinking any of that stuff. So I really kind of explored that a little bit. Coincidentally, or maybe not coincidentally, at that moment, brown spirits were really rising. So we were seeing, the rise of brown spirits as getting more popular both in this country and abroad in their sort of various specific sectors. All of you watch all of that very closely, I've no doubt. So strictly from an investment standpoint, from outside of this industry with a view in, I started looking at it, intrigued by the investment prospects and the long-term horizon there. While I did that, I started asking those questions of myself, like, okay, well now I'm investing here, why am I not drinking here? And the more that I kind of probe that and talk to people, the more that I recognize that as a woman and the country where I grew up, which was not in the South, in this part of the country, I just didn't really feel invited. I didn't really feel kind of a part of that space, if you will. Talked to a lot of other women, talked to a lot of other people, including bartenders and people who are in the space, and who are you serving and why, and who are you not serving. Turns out I wasn't alone. So I really explored that thesis, and having come from a number of different industry sectors, I explored it with the concept of the world doesn't need another beverage, it doesn't need another spirit, it doesn't need another bottled water. We really don't need anything else. Like we're good. And so, but as the more that I researched that, the more that I looked into it, the more that I really started feeling like there is an opportunity here for messaging and an approach that is a little bit more, the bigger hug, more of an embrace of a lot of people and regions and people's backgrounds who have not been as included or felt included. So going down that path really was determined to not alienate anyone. Everyone's invited, and everyone's invited into the sort of realm of Oakley and the Oakley experience. You may have noticed on our website or just in our packaging, we do have a little bit of a different look and feel. Pretty fresh, pretty modern, and I'd like to think of it somewhat as Modern West. It's really where we're based and headquartered, with very close ties and kind of our second home in Kentucky, and specifically in this beautiful space. And so happy to be kind of pulling from what we call sort of the best of history and tradition without letting that limit us. And that's kind of our ethos, as we look at, there's great things about the tradition, about the culture, the history, and the folklore, and the crazy cast of characters. But we're bringing it into a modern age. We're appealing to new and growing demographics, as well as solid hardcore collectors. And we were determined that we would have the very finest, top quality stuff. Luckily we do, and picked those out almost 10 years ago, laid them up, let them do what they do best, and then decided that late last year was a very optimal moment, and then that's what brought Oakley to life and gave at least one of you an opportunity to get something out of the first drop. But I promise you, there's more where that came from.
Let me ask you this. So you're in a unique position where you launched your hyper premium first barrel into the market, and it was a huge success. I mean, people scooped it up. It was a lot of hype in the market. It seems to be a blueprint for launching a brand. Like, I've known a few others that have done the same thing. The question that most people within the community, definitely within the prime barrel community, have is, what happens next? So, like, what is the plan? How do you scale? How do you become a brand? To your point, we don't need another brand, right? So you clearly have a vision. Who you're targeting, and what's the plan going forward?
So we're absolutely targeting real enthusiasts like all of you who appreciate that type of product and how rare it is. I mean, it goes without saying, that's a special experience. It's a special experience for us, and in fact, almost all of our buyers, I know by name. They have my cell phone. They call me. They message me. We're still in touch. So, in addition to just building friendships and connections, the plan going forward will be to drop additional, what we're calling collector editions, into the market. Those closest to the brand who have purchased and are in our collector's tier will learn about those things first. But we have many more releases that are already planned, and planning to release those into the market as we move forward, and continue to expand on both that customer base as well as the experience for more people as we move forward.
And those releases are going to be DTC, or directly to consumer. You're not pursuing any wholesaling partnerships at this moment, correct?
So a lot of places are coming to us, which is a great thing, and we're very blessed to say that we already have some amazing partnerships. We have a partnership with Calamigos Ranch in Malibu. We have a partnership with Auberge Resorts and their Blue Sky property in Park City. We have a growing partnership with an incredible lodge and a preserve in South Africa. So we are adding very select locations to give people an opportunity to view and experience Oakley in the wild. But a lot of our focus will be direct to consumer. And there's multiple reasons for that. First of all, I like the closeness of that customer relationship. That's very important to me. I didn't even realize it starting this brand. I thought I was in it because I love the bourbon. I really am now in it because I love the people, and I love the experience of talking to everyone directly and just starting to build those relationships and those communities. And so that's a great reason to be direct to consumer. But we will have those kind of select on-premise relationships that also then dovetail nicely to experiences that Oakley will be offering to our collectors, our originals, where they can also go visit those places and we'll kind of tie in the Oakley experience with those very interesting venues.
Got it. So you've touched on something very important, and I think you and I spoke about it offline, but I think it's important to touch a little bit more on that. Your Oakley Originals, right? And that being a part of the entire luxury lifestyle brand. I think there is a little bit of a confusion in at least prototypical bourbon world of what that actually means. People have their preconceived notions about it, but I thought it would be great if they hear directly from you. So could you explain what the lifestyle brand means to you and how Oakley Originals plays into it?
Yes, absolutely. So when starting this brand, I really thought a lot about who is a iconic hero or heroine, if you will, that really stands the test of time. Obviously, fortunately, I am not a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity brand, and I'm frankly happy that I'm not. But I looked for an icon, or if you will, an influencer that could stand for our brand values. And the person that I came up with was Annie Oakley. She's very timeless. She's very feminine. She's very strong. Competes with men fairly, and often was the winner, was the victor in that. But she was an athlete, a perfectionist, an adventurer. She was, you know, an ambassador, if you will, at a time when very few people were traveling to other countries, and she traveled to, you know, a dozen countries and represented the United States. So those sort of brand values that are embedded in our brand DNA are kind of largely what we're carrying forward into our affiliation groups. So Oakley Originals, kind of a small tier of Oakley's investors, founders, and some key industry people who have reach and, you know, demonstrated, you know, particular breadth of knowledge and enthusiasm for the industry that would be interesting to the other members, as well as just some sort of celebrity surprise guests on occasion. And so that's that tier of people that we're really creating a membership that will have opportunities for experiences, adventures, travel, interesting private events, private concerts, you know, private activations with some of our partners that we have planned forward into the next few years. And so that's a group really unlike any other. It's not a sign up and you get, you know, a box of wine or a box of bourbon every month. It's really a much more engaged, holistic experience where we also get together and have you know, dinner parties that are a salon experience, and you sort of talk about whatever's of interest to you, your businesses, your interest in this industry, and have an opportunity to network.
And that, I mean, that explains at least a little bit, you know, in terms of people's confusion. I've heard comments anywhere from, comments about your website, anywhere from, well, I'm a little confused as to why there's a, you know, a ranch and a cowboy and whatnot, looks like a Rolex commercial. And I'm like, no, guys, you have to understand the whole concept. It's not your typical bourbon brand. Speaking about, by the way, speaking about website, so I've noticed there is an interesting element to a collection edition Royale playing cards. And I know there is an Easter egg there. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I can, yes, Easter egg, or sort of, you know, Willy Wonka golden ticket, if you will. But first, to address the comments about the website, I mean, any and all comments are always welcome. Feedback, again, as I said, you know, our customers have my number. They hit me up all the time. And our website is unusual looking. Our bottle is unusual looking. Our design aesthetic is something new and different. And when you are pushing into those limits, people notice, and some people react, you know, because it's an unfamiliar space. And lifestyle brand for us means there is an experience when you have some product that has you feeling there's an atmosphere, there's a vibe, there's a sense of the values and the kind of brand DNA. We believe that we're capturing that in a bottle. So there's many things that we all drink that, you know, don't feel particularly noteworthy. Then you maybe pick up something like a Corona and you kind of have the sense of beach vacation and everything that's associated with, you know, sunny, happy time. That's the more sort of lifestyle aspect of it, where you're feeling that sense of atmosphere and brand qualities that lead you to feel like this has some more meaning to me than just some product. So that in and of itself is very relevant to what you see on the website and what you see in our design. In terms of the playing cards, 1 in every 50 decks of cards will have a gold card. The gold card entitles you to register for our gold card member club, and gold card recipients will get lots of very cool future things, including more access and more participation. So some of the things that they will get in terms of access and participation might be, what label design do you guys like? What of these groups of charities would you like to see Oakley giving back to? And they will be, you know, active in shaping some of those things. And for fun, we are doing things like the gold card recipient is getting, the very first gold card recipient is getting a stay at the Calamigos Ranch in Malibu, a stunning place. It's top tier, was just voted #1 hotel in all of Southern California. It's a multi-$1,000 experience. And we're happy to do that for our gold card members, who, by the way, can be bourbon drinkers or not bourbon drinkers. They might just be poker players. And you know, we're happy to sort of extend our community outreach. Oakley leans very heavily into tech and doing marketing and engagement differently, and we think better. And so really we're not about pushing out ads. We're really about kind of inviting people to be interactive and engaged with us. And the gold card, as you might imagine, will be very exciting to a group of people who follow that and follow the winner and want to see that person having that experience.
Okay, let's come back to bourbon for a second.
Yeah, let's
because I
do
think
it.
most of us here are interested in that. Like, as I mentioned, you had a huge success with your first drop, and I'm not surprised. Like 20-year-old, a rumor has it, Heaven Hill doesn't come around too often, and people scooped it up quickly. How do you follow this up? Like, can you kind of lift? Can you give us an idea of what's to come?
I can give you a little bit of a hint as to what's to come. And I alluded to it earlier when I was saying, I came from outside the industry. I've had a lot of different industry experiences and some learnings along the way that had me analyzing the investment prospects of, investing in casks way back when. So I did that, and as a result, I've got some very precious stuff that I'm happy to share with you guys and beyond. So there will be equally good, if not even some better drops going forward. I looked at some candidates for that. I decided on those 3 in that particular order, very intentionally, and I ended up holding one back that was, kind of that, which, if any of you have kids, it's kind of like which one doesn't belong in, right? It was a little bit of that, like, okay, I'm gonna hold this for some other special thing. That was an extraordinary, barrel so there's at least one that was set aside, but there are more to come, including this year.
I appreciated making it available to us. I should probably mention that we're here not just to, talk to and learn about Oakley, but actually make a single barrel selection, which we're all excited to do, and some people flew specifically for the pick itself. Do you guys have any questions before we go into some of the other questions?
Yeah, sure. So what would you say Oakley's direct competition would be in the kind of spirit space?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Certainly there's sort of the tier that's the Mickners of the world and, the Oakleys of the world in terms of what we did, in our first release. In terms of kind of where we're going, you could say maybe Pablo at Rare Character is a, friend and also in that space of sort of doing things in an innovative way. We also have kind of a terrain that we've been occupying that's pretty unique, where there's not specific competition. So we did have a customer of ours from Idaho who was kind enough to do a blind tasting of a bunch of other rare aged products, and Mickner's 20 was one of those, and he sent us a chart and did it very formally and so forth, and we came out on top, which we were very, very honored for. But the half a dozen or so that would be in there would probably be some of the bottles that you collect and have on shelf. In terms of the bourbon itself, I'd say in terms of the embrace of technology and the messaging and the demographic that we're sort of striving for, we definitely feel like we've gotten our own lane in that space.
And then just a quick follow-up to it. So as much as I would love for 20-year-old barrel-proof, short barrels to be a sustainable business model, like what would you say that the long-term vision of Oakley is? Like, I've heard you kind of speak about like the lifestyle aspect of it, but does that feed into things outside of spirits, or do you stay in the spirits lane and kind of reach out to that emerging demographic through different means?
Yeah, I really appreciate that question. So, we're very focused on top quality spirits. There's a reason why, we're straight Kentucky. Every release that we currently have planned is straight Kentucky bourbon. And embracing that, I am always on the lookout for new products that are in that space or close to that space. If there's demand from our consumers and our customers to kind of reach outside of any liquid beverage product, we may do that. And that might be something in the future. Certainly as it relates to experiences, I think there's a very interesting kind of tie-in around, experiences and offering more of those as part of it. But we do have a long-range plan. Right now our drops are already scheduled for many years in the future, fortunately. So, there's no sunset in sight in the near term in terms of those really exclusive drops. So hope you guys are thirsty in the years to come.
Will there be like an everyday expression, like an everyday SKU, or is it just strictly limited to this limited one-off drops?
Yeah, there will be an everyday for people whose daily is not the 20, right? But whose daily is also not maybe something on the far other end of the spectrum, right? there is a something planned that's coming out very soon that'll still be a phenomenal opportunity. I'm hoping to give you guys a little splash of that. It won't be in your blind tasting. It's just considered a thirst quencher before we get going on that. And so that's something that we've studied for a very long time with a lot of intentionality to sort of say, how can we offer something that's at a more accessible price point and just more of it, so that more people have an opportunity to get it, and you don't have to be kind of muscling your way onto the website and trying to elbow out the other people to get it. So that will still be a fairly limited edition, but it will be more of a daily product at a more accessible price point.
Your brand is different from others in several ways, but one of the probably most unique one is that you guys are offering an opportunity for serious bourbon drinker to be a part of the journey. Can you chat with us a bit more about that?
Yeah, I absolutely can.
And what the opportunity is?
Right. So as we talked about Oakley Originals, that sort of the first people through the door and into that club will be, our founder team and founder investor group. So that is really kind of an opportunity to both own equity in the brand. If you've ever wanted to be a part of a brand and its growth trajectory, this is a nice opportunity for that experience without having to do all the work, although you'd be welcome in to do any part of the work that you would love to. But a little bit like getting able to get on that train and take that ride with us, all the way through to the next chapter, depending on what that ultimately looks like in the next, say, 4 to 5 years. But this is again, a new way of sort of thinking about affinity with your customer, thinking about expanding that experience to offer equity in a brand to our customers and to people who want to be in that original tier and join us at this stage, which will only happen once because we're moving forward and growing, and this will be a single raise that we wrap up in the next few months, and then after that we're off and running.
All right, so we can do one of two things. We can actually ask all of these questions now, or we might not waste time and go back to do a pick. We're good.
Right, excellent.
Oh, but I do have a question. Is this going to be the first pick ever, single barrel pick, or have people done it?
In fact, you guys are the inaugural pick.
All right. All right. That's the most important question.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you.
Excellent. All right, well, we'll be ready for you.
All right.
Either way.
So let's just move everything over there, and we'll meet you there.
This is pretty exciting to be sitting here with a group of people selecting the first ever Oakley Spirits single barrel.
Right.
It's very exciting.
What an honor and privilege. Molly, thank you for bringing it to us.
Oh, you're welcome.
And for
No, it's a privilege.
It really is
an
cool.
honor to have you guys.
Thank you. It's great to be here. It's interesting. I went through all 4 and I had opinion. I went through the 4 again. My opinions changed a little bit. I still landed on the same spot, but I gained more appreciation for the ones that weren't my top pick. So, barrel number 1 for me had my lowest score. I gave it a 6 on nose, 6 on palate, 6 on finish for a total of 18. I was getting vanilla ice cream. I enjoyed the nose. Kind of a subtle palate. It was very nice. I didn't pull a lot out of it, which is why I scored it lower than the other ones. The finish was fruity. First time around, I really didn't like the finish. Second time around, I liked the finish. And that's what was kind of fun about being entertained with the oyster crackers and having really a chance to reset the palate and get a greater appreciation for that one. Barrel number 2, I gave a 7 on the nose, a 6.5 on both the palate and the finish for a total of 20. I was getting baking spices on the nose. It was certainly more complex on the palate. It was fruity. I was getting apricot. I was getting cinnamon. And on the finish, I was getting apple. So staying in the fruity range, but changing a little bit, which was fun. Barrel number 3, I liked the nose. I gave it a 7. A 6.5 on the palate, a 7 on the finish. I just like the finish better on 3 than on 2. For me, the nose was more complex, the most complex to that point, in fact. I was getting cinnamon apple, I was getting honey. But for me, the palate, I held it back a little bit because it very quickly went to hot. and I wasn't able to pull a lot out of it other than hot. So it was a little bit one-dimensional. I liked it, but it didn't have the complexity that I was kind of looking for in this. And the finish for me was cayenne pepper dominant. It continued hot and it advanced to a hot for me on number 3. Barrel number 4, I gave a 7.5 across the board for a total of 22.5. For me, it had the strongest nose. I really liked it. I was getting wood. I was trying to figure out what wood is this. I was kind of coming up with like pencil shavings, the pleasing kind. You know, you're in second grade and you're grinding your pencil and oh, I liked that. So I say pencil shavings in a positive manner. I got baking spices. I was getting vanilla bean. So for me, it was the most complex as well as the strongest nose. So I scored it the highest on that domain. The palate for me, I was getting green apple and cinnamon red hot. And on the finish, it was the first one that really started showing me some oakiness to it, which is what I was kind of looking for in what I believe is an ultra-aged spirit today. And so I liked it. Overall, for me, barrel number 4 was the most balanced and the most complex. And for that reason, it was my top scoring barrel.
All right. Okay. Who wants to go next?
All right, so for me, sample number 2, so second from the left, was my bottom. That's because I really enjoyed the nose, but it was disjointed on the palate. I got a malty note that I usually get from Elijah Craig Barrel Proof modern picks, right? So not the old dusty pirate bottle ones, the modern Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. So that malty, and I love that, but in comparison to some of the other ones, it was just didn't like live up, right? So again, that was kind of very spice forward on the finish, and that continued, right? So my number 3 overall rank. Nose I ranked at 8. And I'm just gonna average the 2. On taste, on palate, I ranked it 6. And on finish, I ranked it 6.5. Sample number 1 was my 3rd ranked. It was the most balanced of the ones that we tried today. They had some nice red fruit notes on there. The finish was very spicy. So to me, on the nose, it ranked a 7 across the board, so 7 first round, 7 in the second round. On taste, it was 6.5. On finish, it was 6.5. So for me, to kind of go back to what you were saying, Matt, the score isn't necessarily indicative of how I'm going to rank them, right? It's the overall experience and how I weight it. The second best barrel was number 3. It had this great tea and honey note to it that I really liked, and it really carried across to the finish, and it added a little bit of spice on that finish. So on nose, 7.5, taste 7, finish 6.5. And so number 4 was kind of the dark horse on the first round, and I think it's because I wasn't acclimated to it, and in that second round it came alive. As it opened up, as I got acclimated to it, that is really what came out to me. But it was balanced in the best way possible. Sweet and spice and oak and smoke and all the things that I love in high-aged whiskey really coming through. So for nose, 7. For taste, 7.5. And for finish, 7.5.
Number 4 is your top?
Yeah, I believe so.
So I didn't rank individual nose, taste, and finish separately. But it was pretty clear to me as I went through things which 2 to eliminate right away. And it was 1 and 2. Number 1, I thought the nose, I really liked it, but it was very soft. The number 2, my first whiff of that was very ethanol.
All right.
When I went back to it later, the ethanol had dissipated a little bit, and I really liked what was behind that. But there was still some of that there, and it just wasn't enough to like coax me in. Both of them were very oak forward on the taste, and both of them had a tannic aspect to them on the finish that, I don't want to say it was off-putting because it wasn't to that level, but it was notable. So I hard rank scored each of those a 7. So to me it came down to 3 and 4. And number 3, the first time I tried it, It was a little bit more ethanol forward on the nose. The second time that it dissipated, and I actually really liked the nose. And the first time through on that one, I thought that it was very balanced and it had a lot of sweet oak to it that I liked. And it also was one of the better finish. I actually thought it was the best finish of the three, at least as far as the length of the finish. As far as the flavors on the finish, I thought it was a little bit static, if you want to use that terminology to it. So I hard ranked it a 7.5. To me, number 4 was my favorite. When I first nosed it, it had the most bite to it, but then that sort of opened up a little bit. And then the taste had a lot of oak and a lot of spice, and the sweetness was still there. And then the finish really was sort of long and spicy too. And I really enjoyed the entire experience with number 4 more than I did with any of the others. So I ended up ranking that an 8 total. And I also think that it might be the lowest proof of the bunch.
So 4 is your number 1.
So 4 is your number
4
1?
is my number 1, 3 is my number 2.
So far the trend is developing. I honestly thought we were going to be all over the map, but okay. So I echo Gary's sentiment that I'm super happy to be here. It's like the third time I said it. I mean, there's no bad option here. It's just, I guess, depends on where your personal preferences lie and what you enjoy in whiskey and how you want to enjoy it, right? This is all definitely not a everyday sipper. Like, this is the stuff that you savor and sit around and savor. That being said, there are clear differences between all 4. I am in the same boat as everyone else who went already. 1 and 2 were my least favorite for different reasons. I like the nose on 2 as well as being the best. I actually picked up some popcorn and citrus notes on that one. But my personal pet peeve is when you start to actually drink it and taste it, when that doesn't follow and you get completely different profile. And so I didn't really get much on it outside of just oak and spices. Like, I couldn't get the fruit note, I couldn't get any sweet notes, like nothing. It was just kind of one-dimensional, right? Which was a shame. And so for that reason, it got eliminated. The first one, the nose was more up my alley. It had some of the brown sugar notes, some of that biscuit cookie that you get on a plane, like that's what I got on it, on the nose. And then raisins, and that I like that profile. After tasting it, again, I got some of the brown sugar, I've got some of the oak, so it wasn't a running to be kept, so to speak. And then I got to 3 and 4, and they were clearly, to me, above the board as my number 1 and 2 choices. And here, my personal preferences came to play. I gravitate towards more brown sugar, maraschino cherries, figs, raisins, that kind of profile, right? Very well integrated oak. When it gets a bit tannic and dry, I kind of stay away from it. And so that was the difference between 3 and 4. 3 for me is more spicier profile. So if you look for that, that's your huckleberry. That you like that. My huckleberry is number 4. I just enjoy drinking it. I enjoy drinking it more so than any other samples on the table. I would drink it much more often than other 3. And for that reason, that's my number 1. And I scored it the highest. So Gary, I can tell you the scores if you'd like. All right, so number 1 was 8.77. Number 2 was 8.568.
Hang on, wait a minute. Number 2 was 8.568.
Yes. Number 3 was 7.5, and the last one was 7.5, 8.5, 8.
7.5, 8.5, 8. Got it. Thank you.
But again, this is all like a guideline. I just prefer number 4 over everything else. All right, Mr. Contrarian, why don't you go?
So I generally nose it a couple times before I taste it, and typically I have an idea in my mind which I'm going to eliminate because I want to nose it pretty good, and then obviously I want the palate and the finish to be good as well. So number 1 to me I thought was the weakest, and I think most of you guys might have said number 1 was the weakest, and generally that's what I am on every barrel pick that we do. I always eliminate number 1. And it might be because I'm trying to get my senses, but I went back to it and I scored it 6 across the board. I don't, to me that's pretty good, but 6 across the board. I got some molasses, some oak. I didn't think it had a long finish. It had a slight burn. I just didn't really get much of the finish out of it. So, I mean, it's good. I mean, trust me. And it's all relative to what we're tasting now, right? Not compared to anything else. This is all great stuff here. So number 1, I eliminated. My second elimination was number 4. I did not enjoy number 4 at all. I scored it 6.5, 6.6, 6.5 on the nose, 6.6 across everything else. I didn't think it had any finish at all. Didn't give me any burn, and maybe because I was chatting and having a good time and didn't really enjoy it. But I don't know. I didn't.
Ignoring the bourbon.
Ignoring the bourbon, yeah. I was listening to Don and his musical escapades. Michael Stipe and REM. But I didn't enjoy number 4 at all, and maybe I need to go back to it listening to you guys, but it just didn't do anything for me. I got some. It was an okay nose, better than number 1, but I didn't get anything on the palate or the finish at all. The third one, number 2 is my second best. Number 2 is my second best. 7, 6.5, and a 7.5. And 7.5 for me is very good when I rate something a 7.5. Out of the nose, I got the oaky vanilla kind of molasses taste. In the taste, I got the light spice and that slight burn. No Kentucky hug. It gave me the slight burn. I wanted to burn it in my throat and my lips. And to me, it had a very good, nice, long finish, which is why I rated it at 7.5. That was my second highest one. And so my best one was number 3, which I rated 7 across the board. For 21, and I got vanilla out of the nose, some apples, a little bit of cinnamon, in the taste and the finish. Slight burn, some oaky, a little spicy, which I like as well. So I thought it was more complete from the nose, from the taste and the palate of number 3 than any other of the ones that we tasted. I'm not going to kick any of the ones out of the bed, but number 3 is, to me, I thought was the best. So 3, 2, 4, 1.
So you weren't that much off. I mean,
I was 50%.
Your top one is our second favorite, so you're not that far off. So who wants to go?
No, I'll go.
All right, go.
So I'm not going to go into crazy length. I've got a lot of notes here, but I'll just keep it real. So for number 1, it was great. It was 8. It kind of reminded me of Blanton's, but like a little bit higher proof, but not straight from the barrel. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't even, not a Blanton's guy, but anyways, caramel, brown sugar, like I said, tobacco smoke, slight brightness. Taste, it was mouth coating, it really was. It was good caramel, brown sugar. Finish, it was oily, dense, medium, red berry. I gave it a 23. Middle of the field, slightly for me. 2, dark amber, that was the darkest of the bunch. Nose, honey, sweet tea, taste. Slightly watery, it had some burn, it was peppery. I got red berry on the palate, a little bit of chocolate. Finish, medium, it was a little tart and mouth coating. I gave it a 21.5. Again, not my top score. Sample 3, amber in color, again, nose. Light must, no ethanol. It was an exceptional nose in the sense that like no burn for the proof. I'm sure it was very high proof. I got some caramel. Taste, mouth coating, dark caramel. I actually thought it was rye-ish, which is weird because I'm bourbon, but I got a little. I was drawn. I got some rye vibes. But on the finish on number 3, I gave it a 9, medium long, malty. Overwhelmingly awesome. And I gave it 3. Okay. I just thought the finish was insane, especially if you chewed it a little bit. Holy shit, like GTS level. I gave it a 9 on the finish. And I gave it a 24 overall, so it was my highest score. Sample 4, appearance, amber, nose, honey, caramel, brown sugar on the palate. I got a little prune raisin, and the finish was warming, medium long, stayed on the tongue. I gave it a 21.5. So ranking-wise, 2 and 4 scored the same. At the bottom, number 1 was 3rd, and I'm sorry, number 1. The number 3 took the first place. So. Yeah. Number 1, I gave it an 8.87. Number 2, I gave it an 8, 6.5, 7. And then number 3, I gave it a 7.89. And sample 4, I gave it 7.5, 7, and 7.
Sean.
My turn. So for me, I think I realized that 3 and 4 are a tie for me. But with going through it, 1 was weaker than the rest. When I hit the 2, 3, and 4,
So barrel number 1 was weaker than the rest?
Right. For me, from a smell perspective, it was more sweet. The other ones I got more ethanol. I got baking spices for me, and I got spicy also on the palate and on the finish. When I went back to it, I got a little more of the vanilla on number 1, but the other ones were so much more complex. I think I enjoyed them more. So 1 was the lowest for me with a 6, 6.5, and 6.5. Second place was 2, 777.
Hang on, 777.
Yeah. Again, to me they were similar. I didn't get red fruits anywhere. It was vanilla. On the third one, I felt like from the nose, I got more of the barrel influence on 3 and 4. The finishes were longer, I thought. Again, vanilla oak, and the fourth one, more oak presence. I ended up going both, number 3 was 7.5, 7, 7.5. Number 4 was 7, 7.5, 7.5.
How would you force rank them? 3 before 4 or 4 before 3?
I'd say 4.
Okay.
4, 3.
Force rank, he would go 4, then 3.
Yeah.
Let's hear
Don't
from
let this
Francisco.
Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah, so one I had a 7.66 on that one. I actually thought it was a little less. I scored it lower with some water, like for some reason it didn't improve. 2 was so that was the lowest one. Next up was second lowest was 2. That one I loved the nose, but nothing really came. Like nothing, it didn't develop and it was inconsistent. That kind of bothered me. For that one, I did 8, 6, and 7. For 3, which is my second one, that one, it was interesting. It had a lot of spice, but it seemed like without like the heat. When my first time around, I finally got the heat after it kind of built, I guess, built up a lot more. I thought the oak was really heavy on that, which is a negative thing. It was very flavorful. So for that, I did a 8.77 for 3. And then for 4, I heard like there's more fruit kind of present on this one, a little sweeter. That's kind of what I got, and I liked that. It had the oak, but it still was kind of balanced. It's kind of a sweet oak. So for that one, I did a 9.87.
Wow.
I really ended up liking that one. It was kind of when I added water, that one I thought that one improved the most, and that kind of raised my impression on that one. I thought the nose opened up a lot, but just a little bit of water. So it really,
Yeah.
So your number 1 was 4,
yeah,
and number 2 was.
3.
Okay.
So I mean, clearly 4 and 3 are our top 2. Clearly,
By a margin of 6 to 2.
yeah. It comes down to a matter of personal preference. So I have to say, we've done all of this blind. We have no idea what we tasted, right? Do you guys want to unblind 3 and 4?
Yeah.
Ollie?
Let's unveil all of
3
them.
and 4.
Yeah. Can we unveil all of them?
My phone's gone.
Yeah, mine's too.
So when I assigned the numbers today, I just pulled randomly out of the box, so I didn't know which I was. It was double blind. It was fully double blind. I will also say, a couple weeks ago, when I texted Michael, I listed 2 barrels and I
We're
said,
super exciting.
I think this is the one your group will choose.
Uh-huh.
So this is truly frightening because out of a few dozen barrels and knowing kind of what this group has liked and what you've chosen, the one I picked is the one you picked.
Wow. Which is?
Which is 74-18-8. It is 18 years old. It is a screaming 143 proof.
No way. Number 4?
Yes.
It does not drink that
Yes.
at all.
Yes.
That is.
Number 3, 139 proof, also 18 years.
Also 74-18-8.
It's all the same mash bill.
And if you know what that is, you can probably tell.
Number 2 had a different mash bill.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Number 10 is a different mash bill?
78, 10, 12. No, 1, 3, and 4 are all 74-18-8. Number 2, 78, 10, 12. And you guys did
And
select
what was the proof on 1 and 2?
On 1, it's 141.
Wow.
On 2 was the lowest of the day, 129.
Really?
Wow.
3 was 139, which was the second choice that I had for your group, and then 4 was the first choice.
So we're aligned on more ways.
You
than
didn't
one.
even need to taste. I just
Yeah.
would have sent you this barrel because I was like, they're gonna pick this one out of all the barrels.
Let's do it.
Right.
Just let us know when.
Well, why don't you pour yourself a glass? You have a glass, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. Why don't we do a toast? But we need a group toast. Cheers. And thanks to Molly. Thank you. Whiskey.